2008 podcast series, Tribal Talks, Cybersecurity Unlocked, where we delve into journeys, successes, lessons learned, and best practices of gaming and sports betting industry, having powered and protected the global gaming market for over 25 years. I'm your host, Jerad Swimmer, Regional Sales Director here at Continent 8, and we're specializing in the tribal and American gaming sector. Today we have a special guest. I'm very honored to have her with us. This is Frances Alvarez, Chairwoman of the Tribal Gaming Protection Network, President of the National Native American Hall of Fame, and Gaming Commissioner for Wilton Rancheria Gaming Commission. And she is a part of our podcast today titled Prioritizing Cybersecurity in the Modern Threat Landscape. So Frances, welcome to our podcast series, and we really appreciate you taking the time to join us for conversation.
Well, thank you, Jerad. Want to start by thanking you for the invitation to join today. Also want to congratulate you and Continent 8 family for the production of this podcast. To me, it kind of speaks to who you are as an industry leader and master connector, and it's kind of just inherently in you to do this. So I appreciate the awareness that you are both bringing to Indian country. But about me, as you mentioned, I am the chairwoman of the Tribal Gaming Protection Network, also a gaming commissioner for Wilton Rancheria. And this uniqueness positions me to stay relevant as a regulator, as well as serve tribal gaming on a broader scale. And when I speak to threats confronting tribal gaming, I do so with an awareness of the diverse issues impacting Indian country today. So thank you for having me.
Well, thank you, Frances, and thank you for your kind words. And I appreciate always talking with you and everything you have to say. You're such a kind soul and very humble, and it's just an honor to be around you and always see how you affect everybody else around you, and that says a lot. So, but you have a very long, distinguished career. It's clear you're well versed when it comes to various technological processes and requirements for successful tribal gaming operations. In recent years, cybersecurity in particular has become a primary focus for the tribal gaming community. In your experience, what are some of the specific regulatory and technical challenges when it comes to implementing robust cybersecurity in tribal gaming?
Well, like you said, it's unique, the challenges of the regulatory and tribal challenges. Aside from the limited resources and legacy systems, which was a common and number one challenge in the past, I would say understanding and elevating new technologies. As a tribal regulator, we may lack these expertise and experiences in assessing these technologies. I know I can speak for myself. I know I lack in these. It's challenging to be an expert in these areas, especially as they start to come around. So in that area, I always like to recommend and suggest that we do have to focus on the experts in our industries. Either it's an IT professional or a resource, a company that provides that expertise. Another challenge is the patchwork of regulations. As you're aware, Jared, in your background, you know that in tribal gaming, we have to comply with federal, state, and tribal regulations, which can differ significantly. This patchwork can complicate the implementation of uniform cybersecurity measures. So that's a challenge. And I would say the technical side, the technical challenges, the integration of these new technologies. It's a challenge in itself. We have plenty. We have operations that are adopting mobile gaming, sports gaming, cashless systems, and our new friend AI. So integrating these robust cybersecurity measures into these systems can be complex. And as regulators, we're not only tasked with ensuring regulation, we monitor and we enforce and we continuously try to stay abreast and informed of these new technologies. But the good news is the challenge isn't only ours to burden. We have networks of experts to support us along the way. That's why we have solutions such as Continent 8. We have training. We engage in continuous dialogue with other regulatory bodies, and this all helps us enhance our cybersecurity posture.
Very nice, amazing insight. And I'm sure, here in Oklahoma, that's where I'm based out of. We have many tribes and casinos and governments. Another issue I would add to yours is that just keeping staff in tribal organizations that are educated, maybe right out of school for cybersecurity, and keeping them on staff. And people are trying to pluck them from you and from tribes at all times. So it does help to have resources and these companies that are willing to be there with you all the whole way. So thank you for that insight. So my next question around cybersecurity is for preparedness. From your perspective, how has the tribal gaming sector evolved in terms of cybersecurity awareness and preparedness?
There's that increased awareness for sure of cyber threats. With the rising incidents, we are absolutely aware. Remember the day when they used to say, if not when, if, no, if not if, when.
Right,
And so
right.
that day has come and gone. We're there. As individuals, we're all affected by cyber threats. If you have a credit card, your data has been exposed. So that increased awareness is absolutely it's evolved for us, and we're living through regulatory developments on a regular basis. For example, NIGC guidelines, they provide clear guidelines for us, and we just have to constantly adapt to these. But we've also invested in technology. We've upgraded our infrastructures. We have collaborations, we have partnerships. We attend industry associations like Tribal Hub's a big one.
Yeah.
And we develop our cybersecurity policies along the way and our risk assessments. So one area where I feel that we've evolved, maybe was not such a big concern in the past, was the focus on customer data and data privacy regulations. We built that customer trust by recognizing that a robust cybersecurity is essential for maintaining that customer trust, which has always been important to us, but now it's just on a different scale.
Yeah.
So challenges, they remain, but combined with proactive measures and investments, we're positioned now to better protect ourselves against these threats, more so now than ever.
Very nice. Very nice to hear. Um, we've come a long ways, and I'm glad you brought up it's not if, it's when, because that's all I heard when I first got into this. And a lot of what I did learn too is a lot of tribes that I've spoken with, they might think, well, we're small, nobody's looking at us, we're not on their radar, but in reality, that's not the truth. It doesn't matter. As long as you have technology, you are a target. And a lot of these hackers and attackers, they don't even know who you are until they get in there. They just see you have technology, and then they find out who you are. So it is good that people like you and the organizations you represent are bringing that awareness and preparedness to all of tribal country. That's big. That's a focus. So, well, so Frances, you serve so many roles. I always talk about when I first met you, you were a licensing manager for your tribe in the Gaming Commission, and now you're here. You've arrived. You've blossomed, and you serve in many roles. You're the chairwoman for TGPN, Tribal Gaming Protection Network. You recently, IGA, Indian Gaming Association, has endorsed TGPN as a cybersecurity advisor. Could you tell us more about this role and what issues and topics are currently with highest importance for tribal country?
Sure. And I have to say that, and I like to say this over and over, I may say it again, but rising tides rise all ships, right? So it's just one of those things in the industry that one of the purposes of networking, sharing information, is so that we can support each other. So you've definitely played a role in that growth as well. And
Thank you.
as for IGA, we're excited about this collaboration. Chairman Stevens Jr. Created this cybersecurity task force a number of years ago. And the purpose is to bring that awareness to Indian country, what the latest threats are and how we can be preventative, and just provide that network, that working group that is looking out for the best interest of Indian country as it pertains to cybersecurity risks. So TGPN has stepped up to take the call, that duty to answer that call, to be that advisory board. And we do that in a number of ways. We provide education and awareness, and TGPN being the nonprofit, it is something that we offer to all tribes. What we do regularly is webinars. In fact, we have one on October 23rd, so coming up this month, and it's on internal and external threats. A big part of that is cybersecurity. We will focus on data privacy. We will focus on incident response planning. We will focus on disaster recovery. But as we build out what this cybersecurity task force looks for us, I would encourage you to stay close to the information, and you can find out more on the website.
Very nice. So I just wrote that down, October 23rd, TGPN webinar. So those of you watching, please go to their website, join and register. I know I will. So thank you for letting us know about that. So it's no secret that you're a highly respected and influential figure within the tribal gaming space. You also happen to be a positive role model for women, specifically people like my daughter. I know my daughter and goddaughters look up to you. But you're a role model for the women in tribal gaming community. What advice would you give to other women leaders playing and shaping technological and cybersecurity advancements in tribal gaming? What would you say, or what advice would you extend their way?
I would say embrace continuous learning and prepare for future challenges. Now, that could apply to the continuous learning. It could be peer-to-peer, it could be training, it could be formal education, pursuing certificates and all of these degrees. But at the end, the goal is to grow and just to keep yourself relevant in the industry, in your field, whether it be technology or any other field. And as long as you do that, when this new technology comes, when these cyber threats attack, when there's a career, fork in the road for you ahead, you'll be prepared to tackle that challenge, really accept the challenge. So, surround yourself with like-minded and career-orientated good people. Focus on those good people that help you rise. And to remember to also toss out that lifesaver along the way as well. So embrace learning and prepare for future challenges.
Great advice. That means a lot. I know I'm gonna have my daughter watch this. She loves Frances, and she takes into heart and have learned a lot from you and the other women, especially with the Women in Gaming Symposium. So thank you for those words. Lastly, what best practice recommendations would you give to tribal organizations that are looking to strengthen their cybersecurity posture?
Well, the obvious, establish policies, secure your data, invest in the best security systems out there. But really, I would like to also encourage, that fostering that cybersecurity culture. And to me, that begins at the top. That starts with leadership. When the staff sees that cybersecurity is a priority, it will encourage a culture where everyone is responsible. And we know cyber threats are a beast, so it's going to take the community to tame that beast. So just encourage that cybersecurity culture.
Thank you, Frances. Thank you so much for everything, ladies and gentlemen. That is Frances Alvarez, Chairwoman of the Tribal Gaming Protection Network, President of National Native American Hall of Fame, and Gaming Commissioner for Wilton Rancheria Gaming Commission. Thank you, Frances. It was a pleasure having you on with us today. This is one of my most favorite so far, and I wish you the best. And thank you for your insight, your expertise. Truly elevated the conversation, and I'm sure our audience will find great value in everything you shared.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Francis. And big thank you to our viewers and listeners. And if you have any questions or would like to know more about our cybersecurity offering, please feel free to visit our website, continent8.com, C8 Secure. You can contact me at sales@continent8.com. Take care.